Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 where we are building our very own mega city. And in last episode guys, we built what you see right now. We've completed our big mega train loops which are going to enable us to have a completely overkill train network which subtracts, divides, multiplies and transfers passengers to every part of this city that's going to go for a big growth spurt. Now, in the last episode, we just literally got, I would say about 80% of it all done. There's still another 20% still left to go, but we don't need to do that today. There's a few little bits we can see where it ends and doesn't really do anything at the moment. What we need to do today, though, is complete the lines, which we mainly did all of those in the last episode, extend a couple of lines, and actually physically buy the trains. And once we've done that, guys, we can finally click on Foolstown, go to the editor, and increase those numbers. Guys, if you are enjoying this series so far, then make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new, so you get notified when more episodes do come out. And leave a comment saying, Seniac, you fool, play some more, and we'll do just that. So before we start buying trains then, the first thing I want to do is extend the current lines that do come in to the city. Now, the lines that do come in are coming from that direction over here to one city there, this direction here for these 5 cities, and this direction here for these 5 cities. Now, the line coming in this way, I believe we have already done it. It's the green line that comes in and extends to all 3 stations. Perfect. I've got another green line here coming in, which only goes to there. I don't know if it stops here. I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me double check. It does stop there already, but we need to extend it to this station as that's going to be the end route. So, Foolstown transfer, which is number 2. Number 1. We need to make this go a bit further. So we have to do it all the way at the end. So, Foolstown transfer, add station, and then to there, and then come back. So on the way back, on the is it Upper Foolstown that one's called right now? Foolstown Sittings. We get it to utilize get right. Oh, we can't utilize both sides because we haven't done a crisscross. So let me just pause the game for a minute because I am causing issues here. Your boy is causing big issues. So the sittings right now, we can utilize both stops, and all I've got to do is just fix what side they run on here in Upper Foolstown. So Upper Foolstown there, I believe this one needs to be on, it's already on number 4. So it's this one that needs to be on number 3. And that then should solve it, but I've got to get rid of the Crissy-Crossy just there for just a second. Now, is that issue to do with the train? No, it can't connect to all the stations and lines. Wait, what? Well, hold on. What do you mean? Well, let me double check right now, because I got to run on the right side. So, Upper Foolstown there. This transfer is there. It's on the correct... Oh, hold on. Are we on the wrong side of this transfer line? Have we been on the wrong side of this transfer line the whole time? Oh my goodness me, guys. No! Hold on. Have I got this one wrong? Oh, I'm a fool. I've got this one wrong. This one's on number 4. Upper Foolstown. There we go. That one's on number 3. Right. Ta-da! So, I know what I was doing, guys. Shut up, okay? I knew what I was doing. Apparently, we still got issues, though. Could not connect to all terminals. So, Upper Foolstown there, then goes to Foolstown transfer there. So 4 can't go to this one here. I'm really confused. Why is this line getting extra confused right now? In what world can you not go? No, I'm sure this is on the wrong side as well. No, that's on the correct side. In what world can it not work? There? Right, delete you. To go in there. Right, there's an issue here where the train can obviously not go from here, Upper Falls Town, to there. Oh, because I've still got this selected on multiple. Right, there we go. Right, I'm an absolute idiot, guys. What a great start to the episode already. So that line's extended, okay? That one's now done, okay? Please, calm down. We've got this line coming in from Tor Point, which I believe we redid because we had to delete a lot of it. So that already stops at both stations there, which is great. And then we have this line over here going from Newton all the way in at the same time, which this, I don't think this one... Oh, does it already stop? It looks like it does, boys. Oh, no, I actually don't think it stops there. So, manage the line here. So you've got 3, 4. After 4, we don't do a new line. What am I doing? So after 4, we stop there. And then we do this one on the way in just there. So that there should be perfect without me having to do anything additional. So all 4 lines that roll in now stop at all 3 stations just to make life so much easier for me. Now, we've got to buy each of the individual trains, which this is also going to be absolutely wild to try and complete. So, how are we going to do this then? Because we got to now figure out how we get a train on these existing loops. So we've got train. Let's do the inner loops first. We have trains on the inner loops here, here, and here. I've got to get them onto the inner loops there. So I could do all of these if a train depot attached to one of these. So if I brought this all the way down for just a hot min, right, this is just a placeholder line for the sake of me being able to build a train depot and to be able to connect the trains to the actual line itself. Now, those lines in question, let me quickly see. It is line... Oh, that's a good point right now. How do we tell which line it is? So the green and purple is 45, 46. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So from 50 down to 45. Right, from 50 to 45. Now what I'm going to do, because we've got the money, we're going to buy electric dual stocks. Now, do I put 2 trains on each loop? I can always add to them. Let's just do 1 train on 1 line. Have I just bought 5? I need to buy 1 more, don't I? Because it is 6. So, 45. Okay. 46. 47. 48. 49. And 50. That is 6 lines, 6 trains. There we go. 45 to 50. Now, one thing we haven't done is any signals whatsoever. So what you'll find is the trains use the stations as signals. Now that's a big problem because it will cause backlog here and there. So I will eventually go through and add all the signals where I can. So that takes care of the individual loops here. Okay, that takes care of them. Now, the only thing I haven't done is the loops going the opposite way up. But let me now sort out the final loop going around the whole thing, which is 51, 52. So buy a train here, so buy 2. And we do 51, 52. 52. And that is the loop going around all 3 of them together, if that makes sense. So I've done the inners, inners, inners. These already have the inners on. We have a train loop going around the middle anyway, the big boy. And then we've got another big boy going around here. We've then got to do the same for the inners. And then the big boy is going around. Now, I can't utilize that one because it doesn't attach to it, but that's fine. It's nice to sometimes just keep them slightly separate. So what we'll do is we'll grab from over here now. Bring you down. There we go. And connect you in. So let me just get my bearings on all of this now. So we're now looking at red and yellow. So 37, 38. You could argue to 44. So 37 to 44. 37 to 44. That's a wild amount of lines, isn't it? 37 to 44, 39, 40. Yes, it's 37 to 44. Let me just, again, I'll double check. I'll just quickly double check. Yeah, 37 to 44. Okay, so so 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So 6 for one on each loop, and then the 2 extra for the big outer loop. So 37. Bam. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I've just put all the trains on the line. Right, I can quickly solve that. Where's 37? So, you go on 38. You go on 39. You go on 40. You're on 41. You're on 42. You're on 43. And then the last one on 44. And the one that's left over stays on 37. Don't you toot your horn at me, fall in frustration. Right, there we go. All the trains are on all the loops, okay? At this point, they're on all the loops. Last train's now coming out. We've got to do signals. But I've also got to set up the ones going this way. I know, guys. Absolutely crazy. Oh, actually, saying that, there is actually some train line bits I am missing. I'm missing this connection here to be able to create and finalize that loop. So we can go around here, up and over, down, and then back down. That's fine. Let me double check on all these ones. Round, and that's fine. Bam, bam, up and over, bam, bam, bam. So it's just on that connection where we just do not currently have it. Right, let's get this in. So I know what you're thinking, guys. Completely overkill on the trains. I can already see it right now. You're complaining, Sunny, I got too many trains. And yes, I do. But overkill is what is going to make me absolutely efficient. It's going to make me so efficient doing all this. Right, up and over. And that is the last one that I need to then do. Nice. Absolutely nice right now. So let's get these additional loops now in. Ooh, I'm excited. Once I've got a minimum of one train on each line. Once then we've got all the trains on and we've let the traffic then settle down, we can then see what line is worthy of an additional train or two. Okay, before we then go crazy with the city growth expansions. So let's now quickly add in a brand new line. And we, again, we start here. And I know what you're thinking, right? So you've got a lot of trains coming in right now for one set of stations. I get it, right? Completely agree. Couldn't agree anymore. Could not agree anymore right now. And you could argue maybe you could utilize the secondary one as being your big outer loop. I could do. That might not be such a bad idea. But then again, how desperate am I for this outer loop right now? Have all the trains physically come out yet? Not yet. And you can already start to see right now. trains at stations already waiting. So maybe we should take a look at doing signals before anything else. And when I say signals, what I kind of mean is, what it allows me to do, that is the most awkward of all awkward connections I've ever seen. What it allows me to do is implement glorious little signals. So if I do them on these little sides first, obviously we have no additional connections to continue just yet. So let me just put you there and there. I'm putting that one there as if there was a line coming. I mean, it helps. Right, guys. I don't know if you know this, though. Little top tip. Helps if you put the signals on the right side. I don't know if you guys knew that. But it helps if you put signals on the correct side of the train tracks. Who would have thought, guys? Not me. Not me right now. Not me. Right, it's quite a painstaking task, but it allows the next train to move along before the next train moves along. You see what I mean? We get a bit more movement than on the go. But it's quite a painstaking task right now. It's very long-winded. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Okay, you just got to keep doing it, and eventually you'll get there. Right, we've already got an issue straight away. Okay, that issue's now gone. I don't know what that issue was then, but it quickly resolved itself. Nope, we've got an issue. And they're over here. So you're mutually blocked. Now, what is the issue with these? Train 71 and train 72. So 71 is trying to go this way, and I'm assuming you're, what, 70, where's train 72? So you can't, line 51, go round to there, train 72. So are you complaining that there's a train? You should be going this way. I do not understand. I do not understand. I did not understand that. I did not understand that. But you can kind of see right now where my pain is going to come from doing all of this. You feel my pain right now? Right, there we go. So it's just a case of just slowly going around and implementing all said signals. Just to make us as efficient as we can be. And if I get them all in, when we come back to sorting this all out, we can just then casually tweak it where it's needed. You know what I mean? Just casually tweak where needed. I mean, we've not even got any trains on these lines, but we're going to get them in anyway. Yeah. Right. We are working. At the minute, no issues. Signals will make us a little bit more efficient, might I add. But it is a painstaking task I got to go through. So, if I choose to do the trains going around the loop on, I don't even have to do them on the inner, the outer. I could do them on the middle one. What that then will do is simply allow me to not have them on the inner loop where the most of the trains currently are running. But that is me then saying I'm expecting them to grow to the edges quite rapidly. Plus, if I do that, I'm kind of giving up the ability to use that. Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? I think we're going to use the middle bits. But again, to do this is a different beast because I've got to now cross multiple tracks, and I don't know if that is going to be a thing I'm able to do here. That has wildly worked. Right, bear with me a second, boys, because I can't believe it myself that this might work. We are going to have to do some crazy stuff with signals. But if this works, we are laughing all the way to the bank. This is where my outer loop will go. And then officially, we're then going to grow the city. Once I've built this outer loop, we're growing the city, guys. We're growing the city. So this takes off a lot of the heat now, doesn't it? Of having train tracks all on the same lines. Again, granted, I've still got to do... Right, this one's not working. I've still got to do a lot of signal-related stuff. Okay? I've got to do a lot of it. We've got to do so much. But this will work. So that stays the height that I need it to stay. Bring you out. It's going to crisscross and probably cause some issues. But I think this works. It's so overkill, isn't it, though, guys? It's so overkill. Oh, that goes up and over, up and over. And then it's here. We've got to bring this out to... Oh, no, we've got to extend this first. And then there is a signal there. I wonder how that signal will play ball. Yeah, it's the signal's now currently in the way. So just delete the signals. So let me actually get the signals now set up on these hilarious junctions. So it all goes like that. We're going to implement you there. And we're going to set up... Well, you would have to be set up there as well. Implement one there. So bam, bam. I'm trying to put them all together so it's kind of like organized in a weird way. And... excuse me. Okay, that's going the wrong way. Why did that one not replace? I feel like I've messed up somewhere. Let me just double check. I feel like I've messed up somewhere. Yes, here. I messed up right here. These signals will be the death of me, guys. Right, I gotta remember, signals go in the... Oh my goodness me. I've now got to rejig all my signals, because obviously I can't be trusted. How am I messing up this bad? Signals in the middle. Right, that one's all okay. I can't be trusted now, guys. I can't be trusted. Right, we're all good there. Alright, we'll just go to there with that one. Go to there with that. And sort all this out. Next. I can put it back into play mode now. We're okay. This shouldn't harm us in any way, shape, or form. And... that's all I can really do there, to be honest with you. And this one, bam, bam, bam. There's so many signals involved in this. You don't realise how many I've actually got to get done. We should have done it as we were skadoodling along. But it's okay. Not that much further now. Not that much further, boys. And it will all be worthwhile. Right, that's all good. That's all good. All good. All good. Right, I think we're all good on that outer loop. There's still so many signals I've got to implement. So many. But we'll do them over time. It's not urgent at the moment, I don't think. Trains are still moving. Maybe on these junctions we might need to add them in. But let's now set up my outer loop using the middle platforms. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? This is going to be interesting. And then we've got the outer loop there to go to other areas that kind of sprawl off. And we have like a new line of cities. So that's what that outer line is going to be utilized for. So if I start here and then go to, for example, there. We've got to make this go around in a big circle. So I need to make sure that we're going the way that I'm intending it to now go. And at some point it should flip around, which it has. So this has gone the way I wanted it straight away. Down to number 1. Nice. New line. Then we go back the opposite way. So bam bam. And back in. Perfect. And that will be able to utilize that line running to there. So we can utilize that. Now we'll put multiple trains on the big outer loop. Makes the most amount of sense. Now you cannot argue that this is overkill, okay? Even I would agree right now, this is completely overkill. It doesn't need to be like this. But it's very efficient for Foolstown. Very efficient right now. Buy trains. So we're going to buy 4 for each of them loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it on line 54. And the other 4, line 55. Nice! Let's see how crazy these are now going to become. So I think it was a good shout right there. Putting those bigger ones on the outer loop. So it becomes like a big ring line. Big outer ring line where you can kind of transport where you need to get to pretty rapidly. So do we need to look at maybe line 14 here needing more trains? Because this going back and forth there right now is completely overloaded, and so is that town. So that's not my loop system. That's just a lot of people want to go to that area. I mean, another thing I could eventually do is have a separate train line that runs around Foolstown to avoid it if needs be. But if I implement 2 more trains on that, so that's not a loop issue. That's not a loop issue. And I'm hoping our trains, I mean, that line going out that way. Oh, we got an issue. So yeah, this is going to be to do with the trains needing to kind of come in and out. So that train there is going to be blocked. So I've got to turn that round. Actually, what line's that on? Oh, snap. Hold on. They can't do what I wanted them. Oh, I put it on the wrong section. Right, my bad. I've just realised it actually doesn't go into where I was expecting it to go in. My bad, guys. My bad. Right, let's put that there for a quick second. At least that train will be able to turn in and get to where it needs to get to. Same with that train. And then these trains coming out should be able to turn there. Right, that's my bad. That's my bad, guys. I do apologise for that one. I do apologise for that one. Right, so I can now delete this because they're now on the correct sides. Whoopsie. Right, trains mutually blocked. Oh, that's right, because now I've got them on the wrong side. Right, you're line 54, which needs to be on this side. Oh, I'm hoping there's not other trains that manage to get past without me even realizing. I'll soon find out when one gets mutually blocked again. Oh, no. I reckon there's got to be another train or two that are going around and I don't realize yet. Yeah. Right. One of these lines, I think it was this one. It's got one train. We're going to actually... Because this... Hold on. Where does this line go? It goes down to here, doesn't it? So we've only got one train on it. We're going to duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Just so we got more trains on it to kind of be more frequent in their arrivals and deliveries. I implemented more trains on that line. It's just now kind of waiting for them to come and pick people up is the main thing. And they mainly pick them up on this one here. So that will take a little bit of a chunk off. And then we'll slowly get through that backlog. So just trying to see right now if there's any station overloaded more. We've just added more trains to that line. This train line going out, which is line 15. You could argue yes. It's just more about increasing the frequency in which the trains arrive. And then going down in that direction, which is line 9. Again, yes. Now, eventually it does make sense to create like a bypassing route. But that's for another time when we feel like we are completely overwhelmed and there's not really much we can kind of then do. Okay, but with all these new additional trains, we're just going to give them time. Also, with this line here, it could kind of turn, right, to run down the side of these cities. And then the same with, like, you know, we've got like another stop on this one here where we could also run down the side as well. It's a way to take the heat off that one line. We have multiple options, which is why I created this loop system. We have so many lines we can come off and so many tracks that kind of alleviate a lot of pressures. That's why it's so overkill. It's so overly engineered for what I need it to do. But it gives us so many ways in which we can adapt to the area. So now, let's move it up a gear, okay? Now, before I edit the town, there's just one thing I want to say, okay? We are going to have issues with the buses because the buses are going, and at this moment in time, the buses are no longer going to the edge of the city. You can see on this side, the cities grew further past where the buses go. So we will need to extend them. We are well aware of this. My next issue is, I want to mention, is cargo. Now, the cargo is a lot further than where the stations can reach. So we're going to have to start figuring out ways in which we can distribute cargo further around the city. But again, it's not something I'm going to worry about right now. We're now going to move to the editor. And we're going to move this up to 300 on each one. And that then will put my target population to 2,500. We're going to do it in 100 increments, okay? We're going to do it in 100 increments and allow the city to slowly grow. Once it reaches its value, we'll come back and then we'll add another 100 to it. So we should slowly start seeing the city expanding. And because we've got our public transportation infrastructure in place, I don't need to worry too much. Or at least I don't think I need to worry too much. We will see. We will see. I'm seeing a few little buildings here and there dotted around. But the charts are going to go for a big boom. We can add another extra 700 on our city size from just increasing those numbers. From just increasing them ever so slightly. I say slightly, it's an extra 100 in each one. You wild man, Seniac, you wild man. So I'm just going to give it time to kind of now recalculate what's happening. you'll start to see the odd city or two starting to grow up. And industries will start demanding more. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything unfolds. There's another building there just getting built. See, industry is now slowly extending and expanding. It's what we like to see, boys. It's what we like to see. And before you know it, it's going to go through the roof. So just give them time to figure out what's going down, because it's quite a shock to the system when you edit numbers like that. I think a new residential building, or is that another factory? That's another commercial building being built. Oh my goodness me. We're in the money, boys. We're in the money. So just allow them to do what they've got to do. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. So that line 14 has now subsided a bit, as we're now able to kind of have more trains on the line. They're going absolutely crazy, and they're making me an absolute fortune. So obviously, it's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But we were making clean, big cash money moolah profit. I've just spent a load of money, which is why my expenses are so high. And we'll go back to making profit. But profit doesn't matter because I can edit the numbers anyway. It doesn't really matter. This is theoretically running pretty smooth as of right now. We still need to make it super efficient. Not add. We still need to make it super efficient with all of the signals and whatnot on the inner sides. But I'm just waiting for, yeah, Foolstown's definitely growing. It's got a little bit of an upwards climb on the go right now. We are waiting for that big boom there, that big expansion. For it to go on its huge upward trajectory. Can't even say the word right now. Can't even say the word. But let me just add some signals on this area here. So bam, 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 bam. And then do it on this one. Bam, 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 bam. You're then going to do it over here. Bam, 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 bam. And then over here. Bam, 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 wha-bam. Right. Signals on all the areas there, so at least we can pull an additional train into this middle part while another train is coming round. You know what I mean? Works out wonders. Works out wonders. Look at that, 1751. It was in the 1600s before I changed the city size. We're going to have a big boom, boys. We're going to have a big boom. But can my industry keep up with it? Now, we've left it alone for some time. We got a lot of bricks being stored over. Now, the big line that's delivering to Foolstown, how are we looking here? Do we need... It's line 4, by the way. We could probably do with adding an additional train. Actually, we're going to add an additional 2 trains just to kind of keep up with it. And we're not really shifting the stone much just yet. But that demand will increase with time. So these are the ones over here that are able to kind of grow. And we just got to wait for them to kind of keep delivering more. So we've added 2 more trains to that line. Let's take a quick look at the food side of it. So for us, it's line... Wow, line 1 is overwhelmed right now. On that one side, because this is the one it's feeding all the cities with. Right, we need... Guys, get line 1. We need to edit the trains on this. So if I edit these... Oh, not edit them. We're going to replace them. It's easy to replace. Cargo. So we've got them having 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is 300. So if I give it a 4... Oh, hang on. I've added oil to it. If I give it a 400 capacity... They might be a bit too big for the platforms. Let's find out. Actually, you know what? They're not. So they're now able to carry 400 in wheat to the station. Let me just double check this platform as well. No, it's completely fine. And we're going to add 2 more to them. So we've got a consistent flow coming in. So obviously this drops off. and then picks up straight away 400 to take back. Another train coming in. And then it'll drop off, pick up 400 on the way back. And another train coming in, but we've added 2 more onto it, so once they're in full force, we'll see some big changes then going on. And these will have consistent deliveries coming in. Because right now, it technically doesn't. So it drops off. So theoretically, there's 4 industries here, 400 capacity. It'll be dropping off 100 for each one. That's theoretically what we'll be doing. But we need those numbers. So that is one of my new ones. That's my second of my new ones right now. There's a full train now coming in. There we go, boys. So you get 100 for each one. But as soon as it gets it, it uses it straight away. So it might not look like 100 being utilized straight away, because look how quick they do use it. Another train coming in, another train right behind. Consistent deliveries is what we're looking at. Consistent deliveries. So can it deliver before it runs out? Because that's how we build up a backlog. Yeah, but it's just using it so fast. But another delivery coming in. Another train not too far behind. So that increases the output of what these factories are able to do, which then in turn provides the cities with more food. So that's the only way we can look at it. 1,800 now. Oh, God. Yeah, it's having an upward turn. It's having an upward turn, boys. Yikes. So we've slightly increased the industries to a certain degree. And now we got to figure out how we can distribute the goods a bit more around the area. That's where the real fun then begins. So there's multiple ways in which we can kind of look at this. We could either implement a little kind of truck area where it picks up the goods and then drops it off. Or I could move over and place here another cargo train station in the heart of the industry, and one there to distribute a bit more evenly. You can distribute it in the higher loads faster and not have to rely on the same amount of trains. It doesn't reach all the little nooks and crannies. We'll still need to implement, you know, the trucks, because you can't get all the little nooks and cranny areas. But it's a way in which we can bring in bulk for a wider radius fast. That's one way that we can look at it. So that always does work out. That always does work out. These little areas, they're looking pretty fine at the moment. I mean, adding an additional train or 2 on some of those loops will take a big heat off, but we've got to sort out all the signals before I can do that. That's going to get to 1,900 very soon. It's going for a huge growth right now. There's a reason why I didn't do it all in one, because I still need to build. You know, I don't want them to... Oh, guys, look at this. This is 1,800. And it's this size. Think about when it's like at 5,000. It's going to be... This outer loop will be an inner city loop. Oh, no. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Right, these are getting more goods being delivered now, which means they are going to level up again. But it is enabling me to produce more goods. Now, they're being overworked more than these ones, because them ones over there have more customs. Now, you could theoretically, boys, get these to also work for over there, but I do want another line of cities going up this side, so there's no point just yet. Just let it do what it's got to do before I add anything more to it. Yeah. Right, you're on 1,900 yet? You're not far off. Not far off, boys. Just getting the city to its size. So even though we've grown it, it doesn't give us the kind of the upwards arrow, because we're not experiencing city growth. We've just edited it. And while it does look like city growth, it's not. It's just a city growing to its base standard. I've got to increase the percentages to make it look like it's increasing the city size. But we'll do that with time. We'll do it with time. So, yeah, adding the additional one in wouldn't be such a bad idea. it wouldn't be such a bad idea. Now, those are big numbers. It's now increased too as well. Those are big numbers. We've got to extend the bus lines as well. But let's see what we can do here. So if I based it off this and we replicate it. So building wise, it's a 120, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 120. And high speed. I'll do it as an end station. Side station, sorry. And we're going to implement it. I can even implement it there, which is probably the better way to do it. So if I deleted both of these... Now, this is just a placeholder, guys. This is just a placeholder for how I'm setting this up. Eventually, we can be a bit more efficient in other areas. So if I dropped you... Right, I'm just trying to see the placements, the spacing. If I dropped you there, which is a different way to how we've done the other ones. And let me just quickly configure this, because I want to play around with how I can build this up. So, cargo buildings, there's no way in this world I can add an additional on there. I feel like this is not spaced correctly. I'm going to delete you and come back for just a minute. So I feel like it should be placed about there. All right, let's make it easier and put two sides on. Excuse me. Can you not build roads, please? Build you there. Does that allow me now to add a cargo building at the end? Yes. Now, what I want is buildings either side like this and not there. Because that spreads out the maximum radius to where we can reach. Now, this road cutting through just to there, delete that, and that's as far as I want it to extend. So it does share a little bit of the industry on here, but you can see the differences where that reaches versus this. It kind of reaches the same, but a few more after it. Now, granted, it doesn't reach everywhere, but as the industry is now going to build around this area and expand, I've got ourselves covered for future growth. Now, we need to implement the underground tunnel to reduce the amount of emissions we do create with this system. So, drop you right there. That's now in. So, theoretically, I could add on to this line with minimal work required. Because I can literally just come off this, for example, and connect in like that. That's all it requires me to do to utilize the same train lines. Like that. And of course, implement my crisscross. But because of this, we are going to have to implement signals. Let me just quickly delete. Where'd it go? Did I delete the right side? Yes. And that's the minimal work that is required. Now, granted, they'll be sharing the same area. What I could do is utilize that same line, but split it between the two stations it arrives at. Or we keep it completely separate, and one side goes to one, the other side goes to the other. You see what I mean? There's a multitude of ways in which I can do it. I think separating it might be the better idea to begin with. It might be the better idea to begin with. Now, if I'm separating it, it probably made more sense to move it over a few more. But that is where future Seniac can take advantage of that. I'm just doing the city growth as I see it and as it does grow. So we've done two after. So two after. The next one there would be here. For this. Interesting. Oh my god, we nearly at 2,000. So this will be a test. We'll test it on this one. If it turns out it's a bit too close, I'll move it further away. But it'll be our nice little test run. So the line in question here. Let's configure you. Oh no, not the station, the line. rather than go down into here, which that is our Foolstown transfer, we do another new line. It goes from here to there and back. Now, if I manage the vehicles here and I grab 1, 2, 3, I'll grab 3 and we'll move them to the other line. So it's still the same amount of trains, right? It's the same amount of trains. The difference is it's split between the 2 radius of areas. And then we'll see what one demands more goods. Now, obviously, this one is where they're getting the majority of the bulk coming through. All right, that train now has to switch over. Who's on the wrong side of the lines here? You're technically on the wrong side of the lines. Oh, hang on, no electric path. Wait, for who? Oh, it's just having that issue again, isn't it? Hold on. If I quickly do this and then flip you around, that solves it. All right, wait for it to get through. There we go. It's because I switched them over to a different line, so now they're all like discombobulated. So we might take a little bit of hit on the construction materials being delivered, but we should see a little bit of a difference now happen as it slowly grows. Now, if I could redo this, I'd probably move this over 2 more. Or maybe put this here. So it replicates right against there. And that gives us a wild array of space in which we then connect to. But we'll see how this gets on, and that will determine how I do the food line and where I place the food line, if that makes sense. So it's going to be a little bit of an experiment, this one, okay? It's going to be a little bit of an experiment. So are we at 2,000 yet? No, we're getting very close. That growth spur is on the way up. We are getting very close. So it will affect the amount of goods that we produce here now. Because this was producing a lot before, but now the demand for that is quite sunken. But then the demand for this side would have dramatically increased. So it's a bit of the waiting game at the moment. A bit of that waiting game now kicking in. Where do we have the most amount of goods? Line 35 has the most. Is that the furthest one away? It is. It is. Interesting. It's the one that has to kind of go the longest distance as well. Anyway, boys, are we at 2,000 yet? Oh, we're knocking on the door of 2,000. We are knocking on the door. All right, a few little deliveries coming in there, boys. So just give it time to separate and divide, and then we'll be back on it. We will be back on it. All right, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Money coming in. It'll be interesting to kind of see, just out of curiosity, what lines are losing the most amount of money. So making the most is line 1 and line 3, which is going back and forth delivering the stone and the grain. Losing the most amount of money is line 55. And that would be that would be our outer loops, because there's not much demand for those lines as of right now. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. So that's kind of interesting to see it all kind of evolve in many ways. Right, are we going to get the 2,000? There we go. We've now finally got 2,000. It's now growing into these 4 loops. And eventually into the outer ones as well. So like I said, we're going to take a little bit of a hit right now on the delivery of construction materials. We are going to take a little bit of a hit until they figure out the new demands and the new production levels. And I have theoretically just kind of taken away a lot of trains on one of the lines. But they can only deliver as many as they produce. Okay, they can only deliver as much as they produce. I'm hoping they start producing more stone over here that we can then pick up. That's all we can hope for. More stone over here being delivered. Again, we just got to get these upgrading at the same time as well. So you're going back. These carry 300 each. So it's the waiting game. They can only get as much as they demand. That's all it is, boys. That's all it is. They can only get as much as they demand. So we've got to make them demand a whole lot more. So the frequency on those deliveries, we can obviously increase. But I've just got to wait for it to all sort itself out. So you're going back. You're going back. You're on the way. And we're at 60%. Okay, we haven't took that much of a hit, so that should be okay. But yeah, like I said, we do need to implement trucks to get to all the little nooks and crannies to maximize our coverage. But at the end of the day, the most I can get this number to is 100% if we get it all right. This number here for destinations, we can get... I mean, in my India series, I've got some of the cities up to like 550%. And I'm not even doing anything to make it do that. It's just the natural progression and growth of the series. Oh, we need some more buses. So we're going to have to take a look at the buses next episode, boys. We'll take a look at the buses. We'll figure out next episode if it's the right idea having this so close, or maybe move it to the center. Maybe moving it to the center is the best idea, then the next one goes there. Yeah, that's probably the better idea. Should give us a little bit more growth, a little bit more coverage. Right, guys, we're going to end it here right now. We're leaving Fallstown with over 2,000 on city size right now, growth. The actual city number is different. The size of that is a little bit bigger. But look at that. We're on the way to being 1,000 bigger in size than the next biggest city. Holy moly. Once we reach the target population, I'll add another 100 onto it. I don't want to do it all at once because it will catch me out. It will catch me out as I'm trying to do this infrastructure. Still so much we need to do, but boy oh boy is the city definitely getting bigger. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So goodbye.